just hit it. There we go, and we are recording. All right, great stuff. So, guys, welcome to this session. Guys, these 7 a.m. sessions on the east side of the US are specifically so that we can try and get more people involved in the training sessions and sort of live and interactive. Just want to engage the folks maybe further afield. Again, we're really trying to push the Asian market right now. We've obviously got a very good foothold in Europe. We've got a very good foothold in Southern Africa, and obviously this side of the world. So sort of the next area to try to get a good grasp of is the Asian market. So this is more for the folks over that side, and we'll continue to adjust as we go. I'm even considering maybe doing like a late Friday afternoon session this week, so that we can catch folks in Asia first thing in the morning on Saturday morning, or even further afield like Australia, New Zealand, and give those guys an opportunity Saturday morning to chat with us. Okay. But today's session, just a short one regarding when you get set up. Now, many of you have been here with us for a while already, just letting more people in. Some of you have already been with us for quite a while, but there's no harm in going back to some of the basics. So what I'm going to chat about today is, once you've found clients, what are you doing with them, and what's the process to take? And some of you guys are already doing this, but some of you guys probably need a refresher because you're not really 100% sure of that process. There are videos in the training website, and we may need to go back to that every so often, guys. Keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with going back into those videos and sort of having another look. Obviously, some of the information might be a little bit outdated at this point, but we are working to renovate that. Again, doing a session like this by recording it, I can add that into the page and tweak it as we go along. But yeah, so today, once you've gotten a client, you've had a guy yesterday who's really just started. I don't think he even signed his agreement yet. And he said, "Okay, Gavin, I found a couple of clients that I think you should speak with. What do I do next?" Okay, so you can put them into the system, okay, which there's plenty of instruction about that. What I always like to do in the beginning, and especially guys, you can come back to me at any point, but at the beginning, I really like to have your first couple of leads, so that I can make sure that you're getting the process correct before I can put you towards all of the office or the scout directors that are around the world, right? So with that in mind, what I like you to do is, when you've found a client, you've reached out to them on some kind of social media, there are templates for that, sort of what it is that you're asking them, very basic. But once you've had that response, the next thing, guys, is directly go to getting parents on a phone call, getting their parents in contact with you. If a kid says to you, "I'm not comfortable giving you my parents' information," then it's very simple. No problem. Have them reach out to me. Okay. Realistically, if they don't want to put you in contact with their parents, then they're never going to be able to do this. If you don't want to speak to my parents, then if we can't speak to your parents, then it's not going to work. We have to speak to your parents, especially if you're under 18. So get that point very clear to those kids in the first conversation, in the first sort of back and forth interaction via messaging, if that's how you're doing things. So you've got to get that interest from the parents. What I usually do then is, obviously for me, I directly have a conversation saying, "Listen, guys, I'm Gavin, this is what we do." And then go straight into the questions of what's your level of education? How are you doing in school? What kind of scores are you getting in your exams? What is your level of sport? I know you're a great soccer player, rugby player, golfer, whatever it is. What are the numbers? What are the competitions that you're competing in? And then level of interest. Okay, guys, is this something you've thought about before? Have you been considering going to the USA for a long time, or is this a brand new idea? Those are three of the main things, right? Now, beyond that, and I get this from every single one of you guys, and I completely understand why. Parents are asking me a lot of questions. How much does it cost? Which school can we give them a scholarship to? How big are the scholarships? These questions we can answer. As a scout, you're golden. You can just simply use this as an issue. I'm the person that finds the talent. I'm going to put you in touch with the person that's going to be able to answer all of your questions. Okay. It's an initial reach out and say hi, get some basic information. Okay, guys, is this something you'd like to get more information on? Because I think you would qualify for a scholarship on one level or another in the United States. Okay. Once that's happening, you're in great shape and you can go to the next stage. What do we do at that point? Okay, we need to set up a group chat. Okay, a group chat getting set up, usually via WhatsApp is the easiest way to do it. I personally prefer to have at least one parent, the client, you, the scout, and me all in that group chat. Okay, and in there, it's a simple introduction. You've set it up, give it a name. The name should be the client's name. And then if you want to put ASM scholarships, great. A lot of people put like a little emoji of the sport that they play. So if it's rugby, a rugby ball. If it's golf, a golf stick and ball. If it's running, there's little emojis with a person running. You can use that. It's absolutely okay. It's supposed to be lighthearted, guys. You don't have to be super serious and formal with these kind of things. So it's a group chat where you've got the client's name and then maybe where they're going to. Some people put a little plane to sort of capture the attention of the client and the parents, like you're going to fly to America. That makes sense, right? And so you can do any of that, but their name is important. A lot of people put ASM scholarships. That doesn't help me. If you put ASM scholarships as the title of a group chat, I literally receive about 40 new group chats every day. And 90% of them got the word ASM in them somewhere. So don't do that, or I'll never find your client if I'm looking for them in the group chats. So keep that in mind, guys. Real simple. Put the client's name and then maybe the sport, or if you want to put ASM scholarships, so it's easier for you to find. I get that, no problem. But keep it brief. Okay. So that group chat is there. Client, parent. If it's a scout, you might want to put the scout director. In most of your cases, you'll put them with me, and then from there, I can add in the individual that's more appropriate based on the sport, based on language, based on the culture. So keep this in mind, guys. We've got scout directors, about 10 scout directors around the world. And then we've got 30 guys and girls in the office. All of those people have different expertise, different sports. I did get someone maybe yesterday or the day before. The client doesn't speak English very well, and the parent of the client speaks zero English. They're from France. So I've got two folks in the office, Claire and Raphael, and they both speak French because they're from France. And I'll simply add those two or one of those two into the group chat so that they can manage that particular conversation, and they run with it. I'm in the group chat. I stay in the group chat. It's all good. I can keep tabs on what's happening and help occasionally if necessary. But they'll take care of that. Okay. Similarly, if I know that I think it's Tyrone works with cycling. And I know that Theo now from the office has got a pretty good handle on cycling. So again, we can add Theo in because in terms of the sport, he's got a good idea at the higher level of the scholarship process, how to do that. Okay. So then what do you do once you've got the group chat? Don't leave it empty, guys. Okay. If you add me to a group chat, I'm going to ask you, what's this for? Okay. And that can get embarrassing. You know how I am when I start sort of calling people out. So when you open a group chat, make sure you put an introduction in there. It's real simple. Hi, Gavin. I found Pedro. He's a great soccer player from Portugal. I think he'd be a good candidate for ASM scholarships, and I think he'd be a great candidate, maybe even for Division 1 in university, if you feel comfortable saying that. Okay. Don't tell them they're going to get a full ride scholarship. Don't tell them that they're absolutely going to go D1. But you can sort of give them an idea of your opinion. Okay. We don't want to promise something that we can't keep, but if that kid turns out to be a JUCO, a junior college athlete, then obviously that's a mistake, right? So real simple. The key information here is the name of the person, their age. That gives us a good idea of when they're going to be probably finishing school, the sport. If you can get their school exam results in that first conversation, that's excellent. Put it in there. And then obviously mention that the parents are interested and they're in this group chat. Guys, I've been on calls with some of you, and it ends up just being the kid and me and you, I'm not going to entertain that conversation for much longer than 30 seconds. Okay, I'll go straight to it. If they don't want to get their parents in the call, I don't want to have a conversation. Because firstly, I'm going to have the conversation with the kid. And then if it goes well, I'm just going to have the conversation again with their parents in 2 days or 3 days from now. Okay, there's no need to repeat myself doing this, talking about the same thing twice to two different people that are on the same story. So let's get them in that conversation first, early, and then we're in good shape. So another thing that I think would be beneficial for you, once you see once you've put the introduction in, and then you see that I've said hi, and maybe usually I'll do it with a short video saying, hi, my name's Gavin, nice to meet you guys. Please book a call. I usually put my book me page in there. It's just a link where they can go and they can set a time. That's the way I do it. Other scout directors and guys in the office, they just like to go back and forth and say, hey guys, when you're available, is this a convenient time? Is that a convenient time? I don't like to do that because it just takes too long. I've seen people go back and forward for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, trying to just set a time. I give them the link, they pick a time, and that's it, it's done. I receive a notification. When I do it that way, there's no harm in sort of following up and saying, hey guys, did you manage to book a call? Even the next day, if I get a message this morning, some point today, I'll say, okay guys, go ahead and book. By tomorrow, you can ask, hey guys, did you book a call? When's it going to be? And they'll, 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you. If not, message me and I can check through my calendar, but it gets a little bit, I don't know if you've seen my calendar, but from 6 a.m. quite often till 11 p.m. I've got 30 calls every 30 minutes throughout that day. So sometimes it's difficult to find. Guys, I get a notification on my side. My Google Calendar alerts me that I'm supposed to be on a call at 8:30 or 9 or 9:30, and I just call the person that's information is in that calendar. Usually I'll try and find the group chat. But anyway, point being, if you feel comfortable asking, guys, when did you set the meeting for? I'd love to be involved. And that way, when I go to the group chat, I'm simply going to click on call, and it's going to call everybody that's in that group chat. I think WhatsApp limits you to maybe 4 people or 5 people that can be called. It's not like Zoom where we can get lots of people involved. I believe it's maximum 5 on WhatsApp. So if you ask them, then you can be involved in that call. It's super important that you get on as many of those calls as possible if you want to develop as a scout. Let me just check here because I see that there's a couple of questions just to sort of interrupt what we're doing here. Good question from Tyrone. What is the scholarship space looking like in the USA currently based on last and this year with the pandemic? Are schools back to recruiting with full budgets? Pretty much it's the same, guys. There's some schools that have cut programs, and there are some schools that have maybe shaved a little bit off of their budget. But for the most part, guys, nothing much has changed. I don't know if you're aware of that, but on the placement side of things, there was a bit of an issue with golf, just because there was seniors that are given another year. So that kind of caused a bit of a problem, and maybe a little bit with soccer as well. But for the most part, guys, if you've got people that are coming in, especially if they're coming in 2022, you're golden. Go at it, guys. There's nothing much stopping you. All those kids that got told they can stay an extra year by the NCAA, that's already happening. And we're not going to get anybody else in for August of 21 at this stage anyway, unless they're already in the USA and they've got a visa. So that answers that question. But before I lose my trail of thought, I want to continue. I will come back to your questions that you're putting in here, guys. I appreciate it. I'll get to them at the end of the session. I think it's better if I continue with the training in mind, and it's not much longer. So what I do really like to do when I can, guys, is after you've had that phone call. So you set the group chat up. We had a call. I got some good information. I probably at that stage would have sent the client the assessment form, and obviously some more information about the company, the pricing, who we are, what we do, etc., etc., etc. I'll do all of that. At the end of that call, if I can and you're brand new, I'll give you some feedback. Like, hey guys, that client was amazing. Go find more of those people. Wherever you found that person, you found them in, a specific soccer academy or a specific private high school or wherever it is you find them. And I say, that's good. Go find more of them. Then do that. And I can also tell you guys, that person is never going to sign with us. The type of person that they may be, the attitude that they have on the phone. There's just certain things that are going to be red flags, right? I mean, I had a conversation yesterday with a kid, and I kind of got nervous in the beginning because the kid just wouldn't speak. And I was just very blunt. Listen, son, I'm not going to bite you. I can't bite you through the phone, but I need you to speak. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to take you as a client. The attitude of the kid changed very quickly. He came out of his shell, and we had a successful phone call. You've got to have these kids speaking. So I'll give you feedback based on what I see within that call, and then it'll help you sort of understand what it is you're supposed to be doing when you're finding these clients. Okay. We want to get the better quality clients, of course, and we don't want to waste your time. If you're going in the wrong direction and finding the wrong types of clients, then there's nothing wrong with changing the focus or redirecting. For example, I've got Myra on there as well. I see that you're there. Thanks for coming in, Myra. Myra's relatively new, from Kazakhstan, but actually lives in Spain. She's been getting quite a lot of clients these last few days. Great job, Myra. You've been bringing in leads. I love it. But I've noticed that a lot of her leads are clients that are very young, which is fine. We can take clients as young as 10, 11, 12 years old. But I've gotten a lot of them recently. And the sales cycle on a kid like that is going to be very long. Very few of the clients are going to sign up quickly. Okay. They may not sign up for another 2-3 years. Now, that's not a bad thing. We can have that person in the system. They will start to follow us on social media. And I think I even mentioned this last week. You get a client that comes to you when the child is very young. If they follow you on social media for a long period of time, I think I mentioned the lady from Barbados. Her child was 13, 14, and she saw a presentation that I gave to the Olympic Committee in Barbados. She signed up 3 years later. I don't know who she was. I didn't recognize the name, but she was in the room. She got the presentation, started following me on social media. And then one day, I think at the beginning of 2020, or maybe it was 2020. And then she gave me a call and said, "Hi Gavin, I'm so-and-so. My daughter is Jana Lise." And she signed up within about 20 minutes. So just got on the call and she knew what we were doing. She trusted it because we built that trust with our social media. Okay. So important that you can have younger kids getting information from us and obviously with their parents. But if you want a quick sales cycle, aim for the 15, 16, 17-year-olds. They're the ones that have to get moving quickly. Okay. What else? Right. So I'm giving you feedback. In Myra's case, she probably should aim a little bit higher if she wants to get some deals in the next month or next few months. If not, and it's more of a long-term project for her, that's fine. You absolutely start building up those people that are getting information from us at a younger age, and they will come in eventually. So what I would strongly recommend, guys, is and the reason for this is because I don't track the group chats very much. I usually archive them until they message back once I've had a call. But keep an Excel sheet of some kind of organization so that you can follow up with those clients. The reason is, let's give you an example. You've had the group chat. You've organized the group chat. You've made an introduction. I've got on and said hi, and then I've had a call and I've given you feedback. When I've finished that phone call, I usually will say to them, here's more information, here's the assessment form, return it to me. At that stage, when I give them that assessment form, I archive their group chat, just so you know. I archive it, it's gone, and then I'm waiting for their assessment form to come back. Okay? If they don't send the assessment form back, there's a pretty good chance that they're not interested in continuing the process. Okay? They may say, yes, no problem, we'll get that done, and then they just don't do it. Maybe they're just genuinely not interested, or it's not that high up on their priority list, so they don't get it back to you. And if that's the case, then I move on. I go on to the next person. If you feel comfortable circling back, keeping a track of that person with maybe their name, the sport that they play, the team leader that is working with you on it, and obviously their status. You can put assessment, their name, their sport, who is dealing with it, and then dealing with the client, and then put waiting on assessment. keep a track of it, and then you can go back and say, hey guys, you know, a week's gone by and you haven't got the assessment form back to me. Is everything okay? And they'll maybe they don't respond again, and that will clarify that they're interested or not in this case. Okay, so that's a process that I think if you do that, you might keep you know, keep a few more clients engaged. Depends on your level of sort of organization, but I think just a basic Excel sheet that would work. Now, going into being a scout director, then you get access as a scout director to be to get access to the CRM system, and then there's a whole system there of keeping track of your clients. I've got literally thousands of people in my system, and I use that CRM quite well. But you know, scouts that are with us and relatively new, keeping that Excel and just recycling, going through, saying, hey guys, did you get the assessment sorted? Have you got your video yet? Those kind of things. So I'm going to ask, fill in the assessment, send me your report card from school, your exam results, and send me video. Those are the things I'm going to ask for. So I can't do the assessment until I receive those things back. So that's a big one. So if you can have that set up so that you can recycle and make sure that all those people are getting followed up on, excellent. And then it's a case of just communication. One thing I will suggest is if you've got a team leader, and again, someone like myself, where I get a little bit crazy busy, I tell the scouts and the scout directors that work with me, hey, Gavin, you know, you haven't responded to a group chat. This weekend, I traveled the entire weekend. I was in Jacksonville, drove to Jacksonville on Friday. It's a 6-hour drive for me. Coached on Saturday and Sunday, and then Sunday night drove 6 hours back down to the Miami area. You know, so I genuinely missed a whole bunch of messages. Yesterday, I spent most of the day just trying to catch up with as many of those as I could, and I will continue that today. But if you've gotten group chats together, you've had your team leader or myself or your scout director has had a conversation with one of your clients, and then maybe they've asked a question, there hasn't been a response. Make sure that you communicate with your team leader and communicate with your scout director. You know, hey, Billy's asked a question for 2 days. Let me know. That's normal. It's quite possible for me. So, and then if you know the answer, then great, go for it. Or even just tag me on it. You know, if someone's asked a question and then we haven't responded for a day or two, then just put @Gavin in that group chat, and it pops up at the top. Maybe you'll catch me at a better time. Okay. All right. So all of that, I'm glad we got that in there. Just so that to clarify, guys, how I want the group chat to go. So the next thing I wanted to talk about must have been last Wednesday. I asked you guys for to compile a list of 10 acquaintances that you feel people that are involved more or less in the youth sports systems in one way or another locally within your network, whether it's, you know, your local soccer coach, PE teachers, friends that you know that are involved in youth sports, or the education system. And I probably got about 4 or 5 people. I don't recall who, but I'd like whoever, was there anybody on here right now? I know there was 3 or 4, I just genuinely don't remember the names of you. Were there any of you that actually kind of compiled a list of people? Let me see if anybody on here can. Nobody? Anybody? Carlisle, maybe? I thought Carlisle was one of them. Are you there, Carlisle? Can you hear me? Okay, you're unmuted.
I am here, Gavin.
So of those people, how many did you list? How many people did you sort of list down? I remember you said that you had a few. How many were there?
There was a total of 10, but I spoke to a few of them the other day. I created a WhatsApp group with us all, and then just had a short Zoom meeting, just explaining how it would work and what the process is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will be having another call with them on Sunday, because that is when they're mostly available. So I was going to message you sometime, maybe tomorrow or on Friday, just to maybe get you into that.
Okay. Right, great. So you've got a group now. From that group, just for the purposes of the call, from that group, where did you? Who are they? Give me some examples of the people that they are. Are they friends of yours? Are they the local school teachers? Who is it that you found? Who is it that you thought of, and you sort of? I don't need specific names, but just sort of their background.
Yeah, so there are two that are school teachers that are coaching at schools. Three of them are soccer coaches within the Western Cape area. Not necessarily in my same pool of scouting players. So I was looking obviously for people that are in areas I might not get to. And then there are four coaches that are on a semi-pro level. Yeah.
Ah, okay, interesting. So they're involved at a slightly higher level, but they all have access to sort of high school age kids. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
That's awesome. That's really good. We'll figure out schedule wise. Maybe we can do a quick Zoom call with all of them together if you wanted to bash it all out at once and get them on just to I can go in a bit more detail. But that's great if you've done that. And again, it's you mentioned a couple of school teachers, a couple of soccer coaches, and then a few higher level semi-pro coaches. That's great. That's exactly who you should be targeting. School teachers obviously have access to the kids within their school. The soccer coaches, I mean, that's your target. They're the people that can provide potential leads to you. Okay. So again, just to thank you very much, Carlisle. I appreciate jumping in there. So just to sort of reiterate that, guys, what we're doing, we've created a little more wiggle room in the budget. So if you bring in clients or if you bring in other scouts, we can initially, if they just want to dabble in this, we'll add another $100 to the fee for your scout. So we'll add another $100. So if you've got a person that you feel would be able to potentially bring leads for you, we'll add in another $100 to that budget. You guys can pay a scout a small finder's fee. Now, guys, this is a great way for those people that are thinking of becoming a scout director to just kind of test the waters, right? So, I mean, right there, Carlisle said he's got 2 school teachers, 4 soccer coaches at a youth level, and 4 coaches at that's 9 people. Okay, so imagine if they're successful and they all say, "Yeah, this is something I can definitely help you with," even if each of those people find you 1 person a year that signs up. Right there, he's just got 9 potential clients. That's 9 people with eyes and ears, watching out for you and looking for that talent. So, that's huge. That could be huge for Carlisle. So again, we do this while you're a scout. If you want to bring in other people, there'll be an additional $100 for someone that helps you bring them in. Okay, and we'll pay them. We'll pay them directly via PayPal, just like we pay the rest of you guys. Right now, the objective of that is obviously for you to get more deals. You start helping people the knowledge. You know how to do this now. You know how to research clients. Now you can have these guys do a similar thing within their little team, their club, or their area. Okay. As you do this, guys, what we've said is if you bring 10 people like that and they register with us, obviously they do the same process that you've been through, then instead of paying for the scout director's license of $1,000, if you get 10 people registered as scouts with us, they then find you more clients, which is great for you. And those 10 people signing up would cover that $1,000 that we would normally ask for, because that then allows you to get access to the CRM system, the marketing system, and obviously the daily training that you'll be getting, the scout directors get with the guys and girls in the office. Okay, so that opens up all of that for you. So if you get in 10 people, we'll pull you up to a scout director situation. And as a scout director, you then get $750 for each deal that comes in. And then that scout that's been helping you bring clients, they may then want to start taking scouting seriously and doing a lot more work where they can get that 295, right? So it's just a way of you building a team so that you can work a bit more proactively, more aggressively, put more time into this, and obviously get more rewards from it. So it's start building your little team, guys. Like I mentioned, I can have this written out for you as well, but the video is being recorded, hopefully successfully. Yeah, that would be the pathway we'd want you guys to take if you want to sort of increase with this. So to Carlisle, you just asked, let me see. So will they also pay the 95 to register? Yes, correct. That's right. That's right, Carlisle. They'll register with the $95 just like you guys did. There's the background check, and then they'll have access to the training as well. Everybody that we have on board has to go through that background check. It's an absolute must. So yeah, when they do that, that's a bit like you. I mean, for us, that we don't make anything from that, but at least we get that background check done, and it helps grow your team, guys. Okay, so that's what we want to. That's why we want to do that. So if you've got people that have sort of said, "Hey, yeah, I'm interested in doing that as well," get them on board. They can be part of your team exclusively. Everything that they bring in comes through you, and then ultimately through me. And that's why I'm willing to put in the time to train these people, just like I'm training you. Because if you're making money, guys, I'm making money. All right. So, and then I can also, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, distribute those potential clients based on the sport that they play to our experts in the office. If they're a golfer, I'll put them with Joe. If they're French, I'll put them with Claire. You know, if they're Spanish speaking from Mexico, I'll probably put them with Rodrigo, and they'll close those deals for you, just like what I'll do. But it helps you build your team. Okay. So yeah, that's those that haven't done that, and I know that there were 4 or 5 of you at least from last week that have messaged me. That's great. Continue to do that, guys. Those that haven't started doing that, this is what I recommend you to do. Take your notebook when you're sitting down, relaxing a little bit, and just sort of freeing your mind from your daily chores. Just write down a list of 10 or 15 people, if you can, that are involved in the sports industry, or that have a passion for the sports industry. They're interested in getting involved in this on their level, or at least wanting to dabble in this, or maybe they're involved in sports management, or even school teachers. Like, that was some great examples. Carlisle has 2 school teachers, 3 youth soccer coaches, and 4 semi-pro higher level coaches that he knows in his network that he's reached out to. Okay, so something along those lines would be great. That's again, I'll give that as another project for this week, and we'll check it again next week and see who's come up with this and who's starting to build their team. I know that Omar, Arturo, and Radley are doing very well building their teams, and they're already at a scout director level. They've been working with us for at least 6 months to Radley, I think, has been with us 12 months. And those guys have got a team, and they're already working as scout directors. So it's all very doable. You know, Arturo's in Guatemala, Omar's in Mexico, Radley's in South Africa. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can do this. You can make it happen. And we've got a good group of guys in Portugal now. Portugal offices, literally, they've now set up an office. It's a franchise that they own now, and they've got maybe 9 or 10 employees actually there in the office on a daily basis. So that's growing, guys. You know, so we want more of that. And there's even a few people talking about franchising in South Africa and in Mexico very, very soon. So guys, my time's running out. I've literally got a minute left. So I want to kind of wrap this up. Let me see if there was another question really quick that I can try and answer. Must all team members be from the same area we are based on? That's Ivan. Oh, hello, mate. Ivan or Ivan. I'm in Argentina and I get a French or Dutch guy joining. Is that cool, or should we keep joining our team? Look great. No, you can do it in different areas. That's absolutely okay. That's a good question, Ivan. Yeah, feel free. We're global. We are online. So, you know, that keeping with the same team, they do not have to be from your area. If you're comfortable in bringing in French or Dutch scouts to work with you, that's absolutely okay, as long as the language isn't a barrier for you and they can get through that. Then all good, no problem for me at all. Great question. Carlisle, what's the process for a franchise? That's a big process. I don't have 30 seconds. 30 seconds isn't going to be enough to go through that because we're going to get cut off in just a few seconds. But we can talk about that, Carlisle. Book an appointment with me, and we will we'll get into it. But yeah, it works really well. We've got Texas, Portugal, and the UK have all got franchises, so we can get into that. Yeah, we'll have a call, or maybe I can just do another coaching session another day to talk about it in more detail. All right, guys, I've got to let you go. You're going to get cut off, so thanks very much. Great session, and keep working hard, guys. I'll speak to you all very soon. Might try and do a Friday afternoon session for those that couldn't get here. They're in maybe Australia, New Zealand. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Ciao, ciao.